All right, one more for the day. This video is about spiritual psychosis. When you awaken, you absolutely, positively go through spiritual psychosis. What is spiritual psychosis? Okay. If you look, a lot of the times when people are shifting, when they're awakening, a lot of times this is when people literally end up hospitalized. Why? Because they aren't able to successfully transition. What does Western medicine do? Give them medicine. What does the medicine do? Prevent the transition. Okay, so for those of us that aren't in that boat, what can it look like? It can look like bipolar disorder. Why? There are chemical changes that happen within your body, okay? When you are under spiritual attack, and it fucking happens when you awaken, I swear to all that is true, and if you've awakened, you already know, like you already have an understanding. If you go into fight mode, your amygdala swells. Why? It detects danger. It is ready to fight. Okay? So what happens is people who are in this circumstance, they can present as bipolar disorder. It's not bipolar disorder. It can be PTSD or CPSD due to your circumstance. It is a temporary circumstance based on what you're going through. Okay? It doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean people get to call you bipolar, but what they do is they try to flip the narrative to make you look crazy to prevent you from awakening. That's how the Matrix works, guys. It is meant to be ball and chain. It is meant to keep you stuck. But you need to understand this is part of the awakening process. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. There's highs and lows, guys. You're going to be the best version and the worst version. That is also okay. It is part of awakening. It is part of enlightenment. There's nothing wrong with it. The people who aren't on that journey, or the people who are literally here as a block to prevent you from awakening, of course they're going to stand in opposition of that. Because it doesn't benefit their fucking narrative or their motivation or their incentive. A lot of people benefit from the version of you that's unhealed. Those people are to be removed. And here's the thing about spiritual psychosis, guys. The reason that it happens is the Most High needs you to see and know and understand firsthand who is for you and who is not. So that way when your manifestations come in, you are not giving and losing it all to energy leaks. You have to see people for who they truly are. You have to see what their true intentions are. So that way when your ships come in, your container isn't leaking because it's full of holes. It's rock solid and it's not going anywhere. Stop listening to people who have never been in your circumstance. Stop listening to people who haven't awakened, because they, of course, all they're going to do is try to make you feel crazy. Disregard them. They don't get an opinion. They aren't on your journey. Talk to people who have been through it. Validate yourself. Know it's only temporary. And there's always a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, baby. That's why your soul chose this. And here's the other thing, guys. The souls who chose the hardest journey have to go through the greatest karmic debt. They have to go through more lessons. Why? They're generational curse breakers. They're the black sheep. Not only are you clearing karmic debt for yourself, you are clearing karmic debt for your bloodline and for the collective conscious. That is not a small undertaking. That is the hero's journey. You need to remind yourself of that. I hope this helps. Y'all know I'm kind of a bitch, but I love y'all so big. Life made me this way, but I am who I am, and I love y'all mucho. Namaste.
Looks like you forgot, once again, how powerful you are.